It should have been a Victory Tuesday full of celebration, but instead, Miami fans woke up to devastating news. Reports confirm that Tyreek Hill's injury is far worse than anyone hoped. According to NFL insider Ian Rapoport, Hill not only dislocated his knee during Monday Night Football, he also suffered multiple torn ligaments, including a torn ACL. This is a season-ending blow, and it doesn't just sideline him for 2025. It casts serious doubt over his future in 2026 as well. The play itself looked brutal. Fans watching knew immediately it was serious, but there was still hope it might have been just the dislocation. Unfortunately, the confirmation of torn ligaments means a long and uncertain road ahead. Recovery from this type of injury isn't just about getting healthy. It's about rebuilding confidence, explosiveness, and speed, all of which define Tyreek Hill's game. The harsh reality is this: there's no guarantee he'll be ready for the start of 2026. In fact, it's possible we may not see him on an NFL field at all that year. His future is now a massive question mark, and the Dolphins face an uphill battle without their most dynamic playmaker. Some believe this could be the last time we ever see Tyreek Hill in a Miami Dolphins uniform. The severity of his injury has raised serious doubts about his future with the team. Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald spoke with former Chargers team Dr. David Chow, who explained the dangerous nature of this kind of knee dislocation. He emphasized that it's considered a true orthopedic emergency, one that can damage arteries and stretch nerves. That's exactly why Hill was rushed straight to the hospital following the injury. The good news, if there is any, is that early reports suggest his career may not be over. Doctors acted quickly, placing his leg in an air cast and getting him into immediate surgery to repair the damage as best as possible. That fast response could be crucial in preventing long-term complications. Still, this is a brutal injury, one that has ended or forever changed the careers of other athletes. NFL fans remember Alex Smith and Joe Theismann, whose careers were nearly lost to devastating leg injuries. Even outside football, Kevin Ware's shocking basketball injury showed just how fragile an athlete's future can be. Some players managed to return, but none were ever quite the same. For Tyreek Hill, the road ahead is filled with uncertainty. We don't yet know when, or even if, he'll be able to return to the field. Even if Tyreek Hill does return to football, the reality is that he may never look the same. And for the Miami Dolphins, this may very well have been the last time we ever see him in their uniform. Here's why. Hill's contract runs through 2026, carrying a massive $52.8 million cap hit. The Dolphins are already strapped for cap space, and with a roster likely facing major changes, those numbers are impossible to ignore. If Miami releases Hill after this season, they would free up more than $36 million. Waiting until after June 1st would save them even more. It's the cruel side of the NFL. Unless Hill agrees to a dramatic contract restructure, the financial reality makes it hard to believe he'll remain in Miami. Ian Rapoport has also noted that none of Hill's upcoming salary is guaranteed unless he stays on the roster past March, when bonuses would kick in. That timing only adds more pressure to the Dolphins' decision. For Dolphins fans, this is heartbreaking. Hill gave Miami some of the most electric moments of the past 3 seasons. Game-changing speed, highlight plays, and unforgettable performances. But his tenure in Miami could now be remembered not for the brilliance, but for the devastating way it ended. Even before this injury, there was speculation that Tyreek Hill's time in Miami might have been nearing its end. A trade was always unlikely, and now, with this setback, that door is closed. A release after the season remains a possibility, but for now, all attention shifts to what comes next for the Dolphins. The wide receiver room was supposed to be one of Miami's biggest strengths this year. Many argued it was the deepest unit on the roster, rivaled only by the edge rushers. But now, without Tyreek Hill, this group faces its toughest test. Jaylen Waddle becomes the unquestioned leader of the unit. Behind him, the Dolphins will rely heavily on Malik Washington and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Washington has flashed potential as a versatile weapon, used in the slot, on misdirection plays, jet sweeps, and quick screens. Expect his role to expand significantly. Westbrook-Ikhine, meanwhile, hasn't made much of an impact so far this season, but the team signed him in free agency for a reason. He's one of the best blocking receivers in football, and now he'll need to step up as a more reliable target in the passing game. This is where depth gets tested. The Dolphins still have pieces in their receiver room, but losing Tyreek Hill takes away the heartbeat of their offense. The question now is whether this group can rise to the moment, or if Miami's season will unravel without its most dangerous weapon. Nick Westbrook-Ikine had a strong 2024 season with the Titans, and now the Dolphins need that version of him to reemerge in a big way with Tyreek Hill sidelined. Second-year wideout Taj Washington, out of USC, is also expected to see an increased role. Washington fought his way onto the 53-man roster after starting camp on the bubble, but he's been inactive for much of the season. Now, the door is open for him to finally showcase his talent. Devon Estridge could also see more snaps as Miami looks to reshuffle its receiving depth. This offense will need contributions from everyone if they hope to stay explosive without their superstar. The ripple effects of Tyreek Hill's injury don't stop at the wide receiver position. It impacts the entire Dolphins roster. Every player, every coach, and every unit will have to adjust to life without one of the most dangerous weapons in football. No player will feel the loss of Tyreek Hill more than Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Hill wasn't just Miami's top playmaker. He was Tua's safety blanket, especially in critical moments. Before the injury, Hill was having one of his most impactful games in recent memory. He finished with 6 catches for 67 yards, but what really stood out was how clutch those grabs were. 3 of his receptions came on 3rd and long situations in the first half. On 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, Hill delivered every time. Even on the play where he was injured, he made a brilliant toe drag catch on 3rd and 8, keeping a key drive alive that set Miami up to go up 17-3. Now, without Hill, Tua has to find a new go-to target on 3rd downs and in high-pressure moments. The challenge is enormous. In games without Tyreek Hill, Tua's production has dipped noticeably, averaging under 200 passing yards per game and a touchdown-to-interception ratio that's good, but far from elite. To keep the Dolphins' offense afloat, Tua will need to play the best football of his career. He's shown flashes, including some strong moments against the Jets, but consistency has been lacking. Without Hill's game-breaking speed and reliability, Tua will now be under the brightest spotlight of his career. The Jets' defense didn't provide the toughest test, and Miami has some favorable matchups ahead, but there's no hiding it. The Dolphins will need their run game to carry more of the load without Tyreek Hill. Against New York, Miami leaned heavily on the ground attack. They crossed the 25 designed run threshold, piling up over 100 rushing yards at nearly 5 yards per carry. That balance was crucial in icing the game late, and it's something the Dolphins will likely lean on in the weeks to come. That means Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert will need to step up as the engines of this offense. Their explosiveness and ability to keep defenses honest will be essential in softening the blow of losing Hill. As for the passing game, all eyes naturally turn to Jaylen Waddle. Some might think his production depends on Hill, but history shows otherwise. In 17 career games without Tyreek Hill, Waddle has racked up 112 receptions, over 1,100 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Most of that came during his rookie season in 2021, before Hill even arrived in Miami. The truth is, Waddle has proven he can be a #1 receiver in this league. His production should rise, even if the Dolphins' overall offense won't be as explosive or efficient without Hill. Waddle's ability to shoulder that responsibility will go a long way in determining how far Miami can go this season. Jaylen Waddle's production will almost certainly rise without Tyreek Hill, but he won't be the only player stepping into a bigger role. Tight end Darren Waller reminded everyone on Monday night that he can still be a difference maker. Waller finished with 3 catches for 27 yards and 2 touchdowns, all of them in clutch situations. He hauled in a critical 3rd down conversion, then made a spectacular leaping touchdown grab in tight coverage, and capped it off with another score on a play-action rollout. For someone who hadn't played since 2023, Waller looked sharp, agile, and reliable. Expect his role to expand as the weeks go on. Tua Tagovailoa already showed comfort looking Waller's way on 3rd downs and in the red zone. That chemistry should only grow as he gets more snaps, giving Miami another weapon to lean on. As for the wide receiver depth, the Dolphins still have intriguing options. Nick Westbrook-Ikine, Malik Washington, Taj Washington, and Devon Estridge all flashed potential in camp and preseason. They now have the chance to prove themselves on Sundays. Could Miami explore a trade before the November 4th deadline? It's possible, but not guaranteed. If the Dolphins put together a strong month against teams like the Panthers, Browns, Falcons, Chargers, and Ravens, they may stay the course. If struggles emerge, a veteran addition isn't out of the question. But for now, the focus is clear. Miami must find a way to move forward without their most electrifying player. Tyreek Hill's absence changes everything, yet it also opens the door for others to rise. Waddle, Waller, and the rest of this roster now carry the weight of keeping the Dolphins' season alive.